This is without doubt the most effective way for you to learn how to hit more fairways, hit longer drives and generally get good at golf. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about driver and we're talking about how to hit longer tee shots. We don't want to hit longer tee shots, but we need to tie that in with hitting straighter tee shots as well, especially with this bad boy, the driver. We're here at Flamborough Head Golf Club today. Beautiful day, beautiful setting, gorgeous golf course. So how can I hit better, longer drives, you ask? The method we're going to talk about today is something that's that simple. You'll pinch yourself for not doing it before. You see, today we're going to talk swing path, because swing path is something which so many golfers think they know what they're talking about or think they know what their swing path is. But if you play a shot that generally starts left of the fairway and then moves out to the right like that one there, you may think, oh, my swing path is massively out to in. Then if I were to hit you a shot and play one the other way, so the ball starts to the right hand side and finishes to the left, such as this one, you may think, oh, well, my swing path goes massively from in to out. Now, a lot of people, it's almost like when you have a new car or you have a new phone, you always want the latest, greatest, you always want something different. So many people generally who have a swing path that's out to in want to have a swing path that's in to out, but so many golfers who have a swing path that's in to out want a swing path that's out to in. I can't believe I've said that right without tying my tongue up, but generally what we want to do, guys, is get that swing path as neutral as possible. We want to try and get it as straight through as possible with a matching club face, because then there's going to be not a lot of movement on that golf ball, and that is how you can keep your golf ball in play, that is how you can hit longer drives, and that is how you can generally get good at golf. So how can I do that? We always say it's important to know what to do, but it's also important to know how to do it. So what you want to do, you want to think about what swing path do I have. You can assess that by going for a lesson with a PGA Pro that we would always recommend, or you can assess it by looking at your ball flight, determining where the ball starts, where the ball finishes in relation to your target, like I've just done there. So if you have a swing path that's massively in to out, you want to start thinking, right, how does that work? What is happening to my posture? Do I lose that posture? So if I get to the top of the backswing and that's good, do I then extend towards the ball? That's going to drag the club down. That's then going to mean that I hit inside the ball there. That's that in to out swing path that we speak about. If I'm the other way and I come a little bit over the top of the ball, people say, or an out to in swing path, what happens to my sequence? Is my sequence poor? Do I start that sequence with the upper body here and then hit down on the ball more than I need to do and then exit low left? That's going to start that either pull or slice shot. You see, just because you have a swing path that goes one way or the other doesn't mean the ball's going to move in the air. You might hit a straight block, you might hit a straight pull, you might hit a block slice, you might hit a pull hook. There's so many options if your swing path is a little bit too much varying one way or the other. How can I get this neutral? So to get it neutral, it all stems from the setup. You need to have a really solid setup with your driver. So I'm going to stand nice and wide. I'm going to have a nice athletic stance. The ball position is just on my left toe here, so I know I can get nice and shallow through the ball there. And ideally, I want to have a really nice, simple takeaway. So I don't want a takeaway that comes too far inside. That's going to mean I get to the top of the backswing, I'm either going to throw it over here or I'm going to work it back the same way. It's very difficult once you take the club away, if you take it away excessively one way or the other, to find a nice neutral path on the way down. A lot of it can come from your swing plane, a lot of it doesn't though. A lot of it actually just comes from your delivery. So I want to make sure that when you take the club away, that left arm stays connected to the body here and I have a nice neutral club face on the way back there. From here I can load up to the top of the backswing and I'm in a much better position to be able to turn down, sequence the body better. So start from the ground up here. That club face is still square to my arc, as you can see there, and as I come more into the ball, I've had a nice neutral swing path through that ball, but also the club face is nice and square because I've made sure my sequencing is correct. The hands aren't taken over, I'm not trying to throw the hands at it, I'm not leaving the club wide open, so I can get a nice spine angle through that shot, work through, and as you see here, the club is covering the ball from that camera angle. Chris, you knew I was going to say that. Is it you moved there on purpose?
Imagine.
Because I'm now working nice and square through the shot. The club's starting to work on its way up as I hit the ball. It's not working down, it's not working across it. Whereas if I were to do that incorrect for you, so if I take the club away on the inside and then come back on the inside, you can see the ball already from here. I have seen people with excessive swing paths that much. And also the other way, so if I go up to the top and then come down and have a bad sequence, you can still see the ball there. So I want to feel like I'm covering the ball for as long as possible, keeping that spine angle correct, keeping the sternum behind the ball, and that's going to help me have a really nice neutral swing path and keep the ball in play and generally hit much better drives. It is that simple. Takes some practice, but I wish I could do this more often. I wish I could go through that sequence every time I play, because I would hit more fairways, I would hit longer shots. That's one of the best drives I've hit in a long time. Chris is now going to throw some drills at us to help us hit better drives, hit longer drives, and get that swing path just right.
So as always, perfect points from James Robinson. But we are now going to be talking about what kind of drills we can do. Obviously, when you're trying to pick a shot shape, you have to be going with what is your normal shot. Yes, we can start to figure out, right, how do you play a little bit of a draw, or why are you playing a draw, why are you playing a slice, and how do we find that middle ground? If you're somebody who returns the club face always a little bit open and you're hitting a big slice, that's probably going to be because of your path. So we could have our face pointing nicely up the left hand side of the fairway here, but then my stance could be, I always miss it to the right, so I'll do the classic, I'll shuffle round. Your face control is not bad, but the path is excessive. So when you're practicing on the driving range, even out on the golf course, start to think about a routine of how you can get your setup correct, because it all comes from your setup. If we don't set up correctly, if I set up here with my feet right, shoulders left, that's where we're going to start to see problems. This golf ball could go anywhere. Sometimes you might be timing it well on the day, it might go down the middle, but we want you to be, even if it's a little bit shorter for now, we want you to hit more fairways, because we know from fairways we can get closer to the green. If we can hit a few more greens, we can lower your handicaps and help you get better at golf. So when I'm in here with a golf ball, now I want to think about, right, if I'm playing a fade, where do I want to be? So I've got a couple of clubs here. This is what you could do on a range. Then we could just have one down in here. Right, I'm going to aim my feet up the left hand side. So I'm going to pop this in now for my stance. So I've got that up the left half. So nicely when I'm on the drive range and I'm practicing, if I'm trying to practice hitting a little bit of a fade, I'm going to go just a little bit left of my target. The face then is going to be still to the left of where I want the ball to end, so it's actually close to the target, but it's going to be open to my stance, and that's what's going to generate the fade shot. So when we get onto the golf course, after we've done this on the range, we want to get into the routine of picking a point down there, maybe something in front of the ball, setting the club face first, so that is just left of your target if you're playing a fade. And then I'm going to have my stance a little bit open to that. So I now know that that stance should generate that little bit of movement. So consistently now I can go, right, I've aimed a little bit further left, so let me get that for my feet. My face was set, and if I just swing normally now, and this is where we just swing normally, I'm not trying to hold the club off as a lot of people do to play a fade. We're just trying to release this like normal, and I will return that to be able to play a fade. Started left, moved back towards the middle.
Fairway just
snuck onto the fairway, but you can see, yes, wasn't the best strike, that was a little bit low, but I've got my desired flight. So I've got it starting left, I've got it moving back towards the fairway, and now from the fairway I've got a better chance of doing this. When you're on the driving range, if you're trying to find the middle, a good way to do this, and a lot of tour players do this on the driving range when they're stuck in between shots, is they may hit 3 shots playing a little fade. Then what they'll do is they'll switch it round. We'll start to aim up the right. We'll get our club face again set for a draw, so a little close to our stance. They'll play 3 shots from here.
It's on string.
And that's now drawn into the middle, but that's a 20-30 yard draw, an excessive draw. And the famous thing, I never have a golf ball when I need one to hit one straight. But then what they'll do is they'll match everything up, so they'll get everything square then. So they'll do 3 fades, 3 draws, and then try and find the middle. If they're a little bit stuck, they're not sure where they are, that's what they do. And then when you get to neutral, you might find that, okay, it's still fading a little bit. So I know now I can just shuffle my stance around a little bit, aim down the left side of that fairway, it'll move back to the middle, you'll hit more fairways, hopefully hit more greens, and get good at golf.
I did you on that one in the middle. There, look, put it past you.